You're halfway through a day that feels like it's spiraling out of control. Emails piling up, notifications buzzing, your mind racing to keep pace with a never-ending to-do list. In the midst of this chaos, you long for a moment of peace, a chance to catch your breath and feel grounded. That yearning, that quiet whisper for calm, is more than just a fleeting wish. It's a signal that your soul is craving a different way of being. What if you could create pockets of stillness in your day, rituals that anchor you no matter how turbulent life becomes? What if you could draw on ancient Japanese practices to slow down, find harmony, and cultivate mindfulness amidst the storm of modern life? This is the promise of creating rituals of calm, inspired by philosophies like wabi-sabi, ma, and kaizen. These concepts offer you a path to a simpler, more intentional, and deeply fulfilling life. One where peace isn't something you chase, but something you carry within you. Let's explore how you can weave these practices into your daily routine, transforming overwhelm into clarity and chaos into calm. You know the weight of modern life all too well. Your days are a blur of obligations, work deadlines, social commitments, the constant pull of technology demanding your attention. Your home might be cluttered with things you've accumulated, each item a silent reminder of a purchase made to fill a void or keep up with expectations. Your mind feels just as crowded, tangled with stress about finances, relationships, or the future. Amid this noise, there's a sense of disconnection from yourself, from the present moment, from the things that truly matter. You might find yourself rushing through life, barely pausing to notice the beauty of a sunrise or the warmth of a loved one's smile. This pace leaves you exhausted, searching for purpose in a world that glorifies busyness, excess, and perfection. But there's another way, one rooted in Japanese philosophy, that invites you to slow down and create rituals of calm. These practices aren't about escaping your responsibilities, but about transforming how you navigate them with mindfulness, intention, and grace as your guides. Let's begin with wabi-sabi, a philosophy that celebrates the beauty of the imperfect, the transient, and the simple. Wabi-sabi is not about striving for flawless outcomes or a polished life. It's about finding joy in the chipped teacup you've used for years, the creased pages of a well-loved book, or the fleeting bloom of a flower that fades in a week. In a culture obsessed with perfection, perfect schedules, perfect homes, perfect selves, wabi-sabi offers a gentle release from that pressure. It invites you to embrace what's real and imperfect, to see beauty in the ebb and flow of life. Imagine applying this to your daily routine. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by a packed calendar, you might find peace in a single, unplanned moment of stillness. Instead of chasing an idealized version of productivity, you might savor the small, imperfect rituals that ground you. A quiet morning coffee, a walk in the evening air. Wabi-sabi mirrors nature's cycles: growth, decay, renewal, and teaches you to live in harmony with them, finding contentment in the present, even when it's messy or incomplete. Another profound concept is ma, often described as the space between things, the pause that gives meaning to what surrounds it. In Japanese aesthetics, ma is the silence between notes and music, the empty space in a painting, or the moment of quiet before a conversation begins. It's the art of creating room for reflection, for being rather than doing. In your life, Ma is the breath you take before responding to a stressful email, the pause you allow yourself between tasks, or the uncluttered corner of your home that invites calm. In a world that glorifies constant activity, Ma is revolutionary. It reminds you that emptiness is not lack, but possibility, a space where clarity and creativity can emerge. By cultivating Ma, you create rituals of calm that anchor you, allowing you to move through your day with intention rather than reaction. Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous small improvements, complements these ideas by offering a practical framework for building lasting rituals. Kaizen isn't about drastic overhauls or instant transformation. It's about taking tiny, consistent steps toward a better way of living. In the context of creating calm, Kaizen might mean dedicating 5 minutes each morning to a mindfulness practice or decluttering one drawer at a time. These small acts, repeated over time, build a life that feels aligned with your values. Kaizen teaches you that calm isn't a destination, but a journey, one you walk with patience and persistence. Together, Wabi Sabi, Ma, and Kaizen form a powerful trio, guiding you to slow down, embrace simplicity, and create rituals that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Let's contrast this approach with the habits that often dominate modern life. Picture the cycle of busyness, rushing from one task to the next, filling every moment with activity, only to collapse at the end of the day feeling unfulfilled. Or the habit of cluttering your space and schedule with things that don't truly matter. Impulse purchases, unnecessary commitments, endless scrolling. These patterns promise productivity or happiness, but often deliver stress, distraction, and a nagging sense of emptiness. Now, imagine the alternative. A morning that begins with a quiet ritual, perhaps lighting a candle and breathing deeply for a few moments. A home with spaces left intentionally empty, inviting calm. A day with pauses that allow you to reflect and recharge. This is the difference between living reactively and living intentionally, between being swept along by chaos and choosing a path of harmony and mindfulness. So, how do you begin? The beauty of these Japanese practices is that they don't require you to upend your life. They invite you to start small, to create rituals that fit seamlessly into your day. Let's explore some practical steps, starting with Wabi Sabi. Begin by identifying one moment in your day where you can embrace imperfection. Perhaps it's your morning routine. Instead of rushing to make everything perfect, your outfit, your breakfast, your schedule, allow yourself to savor the messiness. Let your hair fall naturally. Enjoy a simple slice of toast. And accept that your day doesn't need to be flawless to be meaningful. Create a small ritual around this moment. Sit by a window, notice the light, and take 3 slow breaths. This act, though simple, roots you in the present, reminding you that beauty lies in what's real. You might also apply wabi sabi to your environment. Choose one area of your home, a shelf, a desk, a corner, and clear it of anything that feels unnecessary. Keep only what brings you joy or serves a purpose, even if it's imperfect. A scratched wooden box, a faded photograph, a plant with slightly wilted leaves. As you declutter, thank each item you release for its role in your life, letting go with gratitude. This process isn't about creating a sterile space, but about curating a sanctuary that reflects your essence. Over time, you'll notice your home becoming a place of calm, a counterpoint to the chaos outside. Wabi Sabi also extends to your self-perception. The next time you criticize yourself for a mistake or a perceived flaw, pause and ask, what makes me unique? How do my imperfections tell my story? Embracing these truths frees you from the pressure to be perfect, allowing you to live with authenticity and ease. Now, let's weave in Ma, the art of creating space. Start by identifying one area of your day where you can introduce a pause. It might be between tasks at work, after a meal, or before bed. Set a timer for 1 minute and simply be. Close your eyes, focus on your breath, or gaze at something simple, like a candle or a tree outside. This pause is your Ma, a moment of emptiness that creates room for clarity. You might also create physical Ma in your home. Choose a space, a table, a windowsill, and keep it intentionally clear, free of clutter or decoration. This empty space becomes a visual reminder to slow down, a canvas for calm. Over time, you can expand these pauses, perhaps taking 5 minutes to journal or 10 minutes to sit in silence. Ma teaches you that these moments of stillness are not wasted time, but essential to your well-being. For Kaizen, commit to one small ritual of calm each day and build from there. Let's say you start with a morning mindfulness practice. Spend 2 minutes sitting quietly, noticing your breath or the sounds around you. Do this every day for a week. Then add a minute or adjust the ritual to include a short reflection. What am I grateful for today? What do I want to carry into this day? If mornings are too hectic, try an evening ritual, perhaps lighting a candle and writing down one thing that brought you peace. The key is consistency, not perfection. Kaizen reminds you that small, intentional acts compound over time, creating a life of harmony. You might also apply Kaizen to decluttering. Instead of tackling your entire home, focus on one item a day. Ask, does this serve me? Does it align with the calm I'm seeking? Let go of one thing, then another, building a space that feels light and intentional. Let's make this tangible with a story. Imagine Emma, a single mother, juggling a demanding job and a cluttered apartment. Her days felt like a race, leaving her drained and disconnected from her daughter. Inspired by Wabi Sabi, Emma started a simple morning ritual. She and her daughter would sit together for 5 minutes, sipping tea from mismatched mugs and sharing one thing they noticed: a bird outside, the warmth of the drink. This imperfect ritual became their anchor, a moment of connection amidst the chaos. Emma also embraced Ma, creating a pause corner in her living room, a small table with nothing but a single stone she'd found on a walk. Whenever she felt overwhelmed, she'd sit there for a minute, breathing deeply. With Kaizen, she began decluttering one item a day, starting with old magazines and moving to clothes she no longer wore. Over months, her home and her mind felt lighter, and she found herself smiling more, present with her daughter, and at peace with her imperfect life. Emma's story shows that these practices, though simple, can transform your reality. Let's explore another scenario. Picture Raj, a young professional caught in a cycle of overwork and stress. His evenings were spent scrolling on his phone, his apartment filled with gadgets he rarely used. Inspired by Kaizen, Raj committed to a nightly ritual, 10 minutes of journaling before bed, reflecting on one moment of calm from his day. This small act helped him notice beauty in the ordinary, a coworker's kind word, the scent of rain. He embraced wabi-sabi by keeping a small, imperfect vase on his desk, a reminder to accept his flaws. For Ma, he introduced a pause before responding to emails, taking 3 breaths to center himself. These rituals didn't erase his stress, but they gave him tools to navigate it, creating a life that felt more intentional and grounded. Raj's journey reminds you that calm is built through small, consistent choices, even in a busy life. These practices ripple across every aspect of your life. Physically, your home becomes a sanctuary, free of clutter and filled with meaning. Mentally, you gain clarity as mindfulness replaces the fog of stress. Emotionally, you feel more connected to yourself, to others, to the present moment. Financially, you save money by consuming less and valuing what you have. Spiritually, you find a sense of purpose, a quiet confidence that comes from living intentionally. These rituals also foster sustainability as you let go of excess and respect the resources around you. This is the essence of intentional living. A life where every moment, every choice, reflects what matters most to you. To deepen your practice, consider weaving in related concepts, like motaine, the principle of avoiding waste. Apply this to your rituals by using what you already have: a favorite mug for your morning tea, a notebook for reflections, a corner of your home for Ma. Motaine reminds you that calm doesn't require new purchases, but a shift in perspective. You might also draw on ikigai, the pursuit of purpose. As you create rituals, ask, what brings me joy? What am I good at? How can I contribute to the world? Your rituals might become a bridge to your ikigai, grounding you in a life that feels meaningful. For example, a daily walk to practice Ma might lead you to volunteer in a community garden, aligning your rituals with a larger purpose. Challenges will arise. You might skip a ritual, feeling guilty for failing. Wabi-sabi reminds you that imperfection is part of the journey. Kaizen encourages you to start again with a single breath or a single pause. If you struggle to let go of clutter or busyness, reflect. What am I holding on to? What do I truly need? These questions guide you back to intention. Nature, too, offers wisdom. A tree grows slowly, bending with the wind, adapting to its environment. You, too, can adapt, finding your own path to calm. As we near the end, reflect on what calm means to you. What's one ritual you can start today? Perhaps a morning breath, a pause between tasks, or a decluttered corner. These acts are powerful, signaling your readiness to live differently, to embrace simplicity, to find peace in the present. You don't need a perfect life to begin. You need only the courage to take one step, then another, trusting the path will unfold. You are part of a larger rhythm, like the tides or the seasons. Let wabi-sabi guide you to cherish the imperfect. Let Ma create space for clarity. Let Kaizen build calm through small steps. Together, these practices offer a way to navigate chaos with grace, to create a life that feels like home. So pause, breathe, and begin. The journey to calm is yours, and every moment is a chance to come alive, chance to come alive, chance to come alive.